Hajj flights for this year starting from today. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman formally inaugurates them at 11:30 p.m. Role of media in institutionalizing democracy undeniable, says Information and Broadcasting Minister. Country has full capacity for months of April and May. Efforts being made to stock sufficient fuel considering demand in June, informs State Minister for Energy. Government considering to change policies of primary scholarship examination, says State Minister for Primary and Mass Education. Iran opens Hormuz Strait in context of ceasefire between Lebanon and Israel. And in Mirpur, New Zealand beat Bangladesh by 26 runs in first ODI of 3-match series. Assalamu alaikum. This is Tuli Komolika Das welcoming you all to News at 10. You have just heard the highlights. Now let's move on to the details. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman will formally inaugurate this year's Hajj flight today. The Ministry of Civil Aviation and Tourism informed that the Prime Minister will formally open the Hajj flight operations at 11:30 p.m. Bangladesh, one of the world's largest Hajj pilgrim sending countries, is expected to send a total of 78,500 pilgrims to Saudi Arabia this year. Of them, 4,565 pilgrims will perform Hajj under government management, while 73,935 will travel through private agencies. About 50% of the pilgrims will travel by Biman Bangladesh Airlines, while the remaining passengers will use Saudia and Flynas. Meanwhile, Religious Affairs Ministry in a press release added that this year the inaugural Hajj flight from Bangladesh will depart at 12:20 a.m. on April 18th, carrying 419 pilgrims from Hazrat Shah Jalal International Airport to King Abdulaziz International Airport in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Subject to the sighting of the moon, the Holy Hajj is expected to be held on May 26, 2026. Return flights will begin on May 30th after the completion of Hajj rituals and will continue until July 1st. Information and Broadcasting Minister Zahiruddin Shopon has urged media workers to be cautious so that false and misinformation does not spread under the guise of truth in the era of free flow of information. He made this appeal at the celebration of the 15th anniversary of the private television channel Shomoy TV in the capital today. Among others, Road Transport and Bridges Minister Sheikh Robiul Alam, Chief Whip Nurul Islam, Administrator of Dhaka South City Corporation Abdus Salam, Administrator of North City Corporation Shafiqul Islam Milton, and Prime Minister's Press Secretary Saleh Shibli spoke at the event. The Minister of Information and Broadcasting said that the role of the media in institutionalizing democracy is undeniable. He stated that in the present era, presenting objective and information-based news in line with the time plays a role in fulfilling public aspirations. State Minister for Power, Energy and Mineral Resources Onindo Islam Ahmed said the government is working to ensure adequate fuel reserves to meet the country's demand in June. Speaking to journalists after visiting Eastern Refinery Limited in Chattogram, the State Minister said country currently has sufficient fuel stocks for April and May, while preparations are ongoing to secure supply for the following month. He also claimed that the country is currently holding the highest level of fuel reserves in its history. Highlighting government initiatives, the State Minister said efforts are being made to import both refined and crude fuel from alternative sources. In the current energy scenario, priority is being given to the agricultural and industrial sectors in electricity management, he added. Meanwhile, vigilance teams have been deployed across the country to maintain discipline in fuel supply amid the ongoing war in the Middle East. The task of these teams is to ensure that no one can illegally stockpile fuel. However, in some areas, consumers have complained about irregularities in supply and related difficulties. On the other hand, petrol pump owners say that there is sufficient fuel stock in the country and there is no risk of a shortage. State Minister for Primary and Mass Education Bobby Hajj said that the government is considering revising the policy for primary scholarship examinations, including increasing the stipend amount. He made the remarks today while speaking to journalists during a visit to a scholarship examination center at Batsha Faisal Institute in the capital's Mohammadpur area. The State Minister mentioned that the examination has been reintroduced to encourage students. Under the current policy, scholarships will be awarded in two categories, talent pool and general. He added that the number of male and female students in the merit list will be equal, maintaining a 50% ratio for each. In addition, 80% of the total scholarships will be allocated to students from government primary schools, while 20% will be reserved for those from non-government schools. Meanwhile, the resumption of the scholarship examination after 16 years has created much enthusiasm among students and guardians. The examination began on 15th April simultaneously in 61 districts across the country, excluding the 3 hill districts. The Bangla exam was held on the first day. According to the Directorate of Primary Education, 40% of 5th grade students from government and non-government primary schools in 2025 are eligible to take part in the examination. This system was last used in 2008. Bangladesh sought Kyrgyzstan's support for Bangladesh's candidate Foreign Minister Dr. Khalilur Rahman for the presidency of the 81st UN General Assembly. The plea was made by Foreign Affairs Advisor Humayun Kabir when he held a courtesy meeting with Special Envoy of the President of Kyrgyzstan and Deputy Head of the Presidential Administration Azamat Kadiraliyev. The meeting took place on the sidelines of the Antalya Diplomacy Forum, which began on Friday in Turkey. Meanwhile, Turkey's ruling Justice and Development Party, AK Party, proposed signing a party-to-party memorandum of understanding with Bangladesh Nationalist Party to deepen ties, marking a new dimension in political engagement between the two parties. The proposal was made when Vice Chairman, Head of Foreign Affairs and Member of Parliament of AK Party, Zafir Shirakaya, held a meeting with Foreign Affairs Advisor to the Prime Minister, Humayun Kabir, on the sidelines of the Antalya Diplomacy Forum in Turkey. During the meeting, Zafir Shirakaya congratulated Prime Minister Tariq Rahman. He proposed signing a party-to-party memorandum of understanding aimed at further deepening and strengthening relations between the Bangladesh Nationalist Party and the AK Party. The Foreign Affairs Advisor said this is the first time the AK Party has made such a proposal to BNP as a political party in Bangladesh. Bangladesh Atomic Energy Regulatory Authority has officially granted the commissioning license for fuel loading at the first unit of the Rupur nuclear power plant. The license has been issued based on the assessment and review of national and international regulatory agencies. Bangladesh Atomic Energy Regulatory Authority Chairman Mahmoudul Hassan formally handed over the license to Dr. M. Moinul Islam, Chairman of the Bangladesh Atomic Energy Commission, yesterday. The formal inauguration of the fuel loading activities at the first unit of the plant is likely to be held in the last week of April. According to the plan, electricity from the unit is expected to be connected to the national grid within about 3 months after the start of full loading. Later, after completing various tests and capacity building activities in stages, the target has been set to start transmitting electricity to the national grid at full capacity of the first unit by next December. The progress of the Rupur nuclear power plant will play an important role in ensuring the country's energy security and sustainable power generation. And we now move on to the international news.